Yeah, so we're back. We're back live, and it's a wonderful day. It's a bright day out here today. I'm so happy, and at the same time, I'm so sad. Nigeria is not going to be at the World Cup, which is a big
Oh,
one. No talking point about that. It's still the best show in the whole of the universe. It's News Instanta Sport, and I'm here live on a band radio scope, a YouTube channel, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. I'm here with Oracle Kochi, and of course, I'm with Sheyi as well and Olale. Because it's a sad day, I'm going to allow you guys introduce yourself today. I'm not going to be like Sonia Abacha today. Go ahead, Kachi. You go first.
sports, sports fans, they had told us back in October that with 4 games left, the Brooklyn Nets will be lying 10th in the Eastern Conference and the LA Lakers will be 11th on the standings. I would have told the person to introduce me to their drug dealer. But that is the reality now. The Nets clinched play in berth. The Lakers may have an uprising on their hands. All this we will dissect. I don't want to say Viva Canada, but Viva Canada. Good to have you on the show.
All right, perfect, Olale.
Yeah, good day, sporting fans around the world. It's not been a good time for if you are a United fan at the same time you are from Nigeria. It's been a terrible past few months. So, but something actually stand out for me in all this whole mess about Nigeria. Since Amaju Pinnick over the realm of affairs, Nigeria they've actually missed two Nations Cup, and there is this policy shift from we begging players around the world to come and play for the Super Eagles. I don't think some of these players actually deserve to be, let me say, chased the way we've been doing that. I probably felt Kevin Bassey was actually playing against Nigeria on that day. But Sporting Fans, welcome to the show once again. We might probably touch that in this.
All right, perfect. I'm not going to touch that anyways, Olale. Trust
Please
me,
don't.
I'm not going to touch it. Sheyi, you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, good day,
Oracle
sports fans
2.0.
around. Thank you. I'm back. Good day, everyone. And like Olawale said, it hasn't been a good week so far for Manchester United fans. Even still, I'm wearing my jersey today, and also and also as a Nigerian. But guess what? I think the World Cup draws actually looks promising for African teams.
All right. Sheyi said the World Cup draws actually look promising for African teams. I also and I hope so and I hope so too. Kashi, I'm gonna come to you straight and come for your juggernauts. And I'm gonna start with what you started with, the Nets. We're looking at it and they are 10th right now.
Mhm,
Lakers are 11th right now outside the
mhm.
playing, and unfortunately for Lakers, their last 7 or 6 games comes against the top teams.
Yeah.
But maybe the Nuggets, which makes it more difficult for them. But
Mhm.
now I'm going to ask you the first question. That first question is going to be looking at the LA Lakers right now. Do you think they are going to make the plays? You predicted it that they were not going to, so I don't expect it to change anyways.
Yeah, the simple answer is no, they are not. The more elaborate answer is they still have a puncher's chance, but only if everything works in their favor. And there's something really bad about not being in full control of your future.
Hmm.
Um, the Lakers put themselves in this position. LeBron should also not be absolved of the blame, no matter how amazing he's been all season. He went and decided that they needed a Russell Westbrook instead of a red hot DeMar DeRozan,
Demadrova.
which was where the major problem started. We said it, Olale said it. I was even a bit sitting on the fence, but Olale was pretty vehement to say that was not going to work. And we've seen it over 77, 78 games. It hasn't worked. I believe there will be movement and shipping out of players at the end of the season during the inquest. But the Lakers cost this. They mortgage their future to win now.
AD.
And when I say win now, I'm talking of all they traded out to get AD for, all they also traded to get Russell Westbrook. Don't forget they had to send an amazing Alex Caruso, who I thought was a perfect fit and a pure Laker player, even though his skin tone is not black. Kyle Kuzma, we know Kyle Kuzma couldn't shoot for anything, but he had hot days, you know. And then you look at who they have right now, a Malik Monk who just never, well, I would say probably inconsistent, but a little bit better than Kendrick Nunn, who we thought after what he did with the Heat would come in and bring some firepower, but never stayed healthy.
Yeah.
And then the Russell Westbrook, who for some reason just forgot how to shoot. You know, shooting bricks.
Forgot how to shoot, or never.
Yeah, he just forgot how to shoot. So I really don't see it happening. As we speak right now, they are losing against the Denver Nuggets, which will push them further back. They are head-to-head, the tiebreaker against their direct opponent, which was New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay.
They lost both games.
Wow.
They lost both games. So they are in their straits. It will take a miracle, but I really don't see it happening. To go back to my initial answer, the short answer is no. The Lakers will not make it. But for the Nets, even though you've not come there, and I'm assuming you will go there, the Nets, I believe, they still have a good chance. I mean, that team will gel, especially now that Kyrie can play anywhere in the United States. I think they still have a good chance. I still believe that they are not your ideal first round opponents. So everybody will be praying, especially the Miami Heat, will be praying that they finish at least seventh. So they play the Celtics and not them finishing eighth and starting that series against the Heat. Because it's going to be first versus 8, second versus 7, third versus 6, fourth and 5. So in a nutshell, the Nets are still a dangerous team. They will continue to be dangerous until they are eliminated. But for the Lakers, I think the inquest should start in earnest. And the inquest has really started because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out on Saturday rather, to further blast LeBron, saying actions he's seen LeBron do lately is not becoming of a supposed GOAT. A lot of people are saying Kareem is only saying that because his record that is about to be broken. 38 years is about to be broken, but I still think there's some merit in what he's saying.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that. Olale, the Nets on things right now. I know at the start of the season, nobody will have thought they will be at the 10th position, right? But we've seen changes. We've seen James Harden not being able to not keeping fit. We've seen Kyrie missing so much games in New York. We've seen KD going on and off as well in terms of injury, right? But if they do eventually clinch the 10 spots and or playing spots, is there a consensus among us right now that they are well deserving of the 10 spot or the playing spots?
Now, like you said, probably even in January, I'm not sure anybody will have the Nets finding themselves in the position they are currently in. As at the time in January, they occupied number 1 spot in the Eastern Conference. Before the Kevin Durant injury and James Harden just quit on the team. That aside, they are presently 10th. As it stands now, they are going to make the play-in because they are like 6 games ahead of the Wizards.
Yeah.
They have the same record with the Hornets, but I think the Hornets have better head-to-head record.
Okay.
Likewise, the Hawks. I'm not sure that they have the better head-to-head than the Hawks, but the Hawks
they lost against the Atlanta Hawks a couple of days ago.
The Hawks are occupying the 8th position and they are 1 game ahead of the Nets. So as it stands, the Nets are in the play-in, but will they make the playoff? there is no guarantee that they will make the playoff based on what we know presently. Because for them to make the playoff, they have to beat Onet twice. After beating the Onet twice, they will now meet the winner between Cavaliers and Hawks. So they will have to beat those ones twice. If they drop any game in any of those series, they are out. So they have to win 4 consecutive games to be in the, what do you call it?
The playoffs.
In the playoff properly. As it stands now. So what I'm saying, assuming that if the season ends with them occupying that 10th position, for them to be in the proper playoff, to make 8th seed, they will have to win, or they have to win 4 games, 2 against the Onet and 2 against Cavaliers and the Hawks without dropping a single game. That's the only reason. And with what we've seen of the Nets, can they do it of recent? I have my fears. I don't think they can do it because defensively, they be so horrible. We've been making a lot of noise about Kyrie not available. Kyrie has been available now. They played like 5 games that they've lost 3. They lost Grizzlies. They lost to Bucks, even though that was a bit close, and they won that. They lost to Onet, and they lost to Milwaukee Bucks. That's like 4 losses since Kyrie is fully back. So that's 4 losses. And what is the common factor in those losses? The common factor is that Kyrie, and probably except for the Onet game, Kyrie and KD has been putting on very good numbers, and those numbers have been a waste. Against the Hawks, Kevin had 55 points, Kyrie had something points. Ideally, on a good day, that should win you games. It means defensively they are just too terrible. They need LaMarcus Aldridge back as soon as possible. Seth Curry, they can't afford to be missing Seth Curry. They have a chance. I think the best thing for them, their last 4 games to end the regular season, is home against the Hawks, home against the Rockets. They are playing at the Garden against the Knicks. They are hosting the Cavaliers, and they are hosting the Pacers. The best thing they can do for themselves is to win these 4 games. If they can win all these 4 games, there is a high possibility that Onet and Hawks will drop some of their games, and they can probably move to that number 8. If they are number 8, it is far better for them. If they can't get to 7, all they need to win is just to win 1 game to remain in the number 8 seed. But as it stands now, it's not looking good for them.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that, Olali. And of course, the Golden State Warriors have cleaned their own playoff spots. Well deserved, definitely, given what they did at the start of the season. Looking at it over the past couple of weeks, not so much, but of course they have reasons not to do so much, given they have the mastermind of their team out for a couple of weeks. And of course, to a surprising one, which I'm still in shock, Ash Barty retiring from the tennis world. Sheyi, I'm going to come to you. I know I was shocked, 100%. How shocked were you that Ash was retiring? And come to think of it, she wants, according to rumors right now, she wants to go golfing. And she said she has done everything that she can in tennis world. And I'm wondering what she has done. Just 3 Grand Slams. And I'm wondering, has she made so much money? She's tired, or this is just a front, and she's going to come back in couple of months or years to say, yeah, I'm back. I'm Kim Clijsters. I'm back.
Thank you for saying that. I think I was about to mention that we've seen Kim Clijsters actually went to got married, gave birth, came back to tennis again. I was actually shocked, just like every other tennis fans, I believe, about the announcement of Ashley Barty to retire. I think for me, for my own opinion, is that's definitely the wrong decision for her. I think she's the queen of the court at the moment. She should have stayed. And I think, achieve everything achievable without the agent Serena Williams, and maybe like additional 4 years in the court before calling it a time on tennis. Golf is her second sports anyway, but I still think in the world of tennis, Ashley Barty is supposed to still be there. We miss her, but we hope that she'll come back one day, like you said.
I'm thinking she will come back. Anyways, I'm thinking she will come back. Kachi, how
Mhm.
surprised were you? And did you think money have a lot to do with this? She made so much money off, money comes into the sport these days, and
Mhm.
what the old stars used to make is not what these kids make these days. They make like times
Yeah,
10 of what the old star used to make, and maybe she was just
yeah.
like, okay, I'm done with it. My body doesn't want this anymore. I'll go golfing.
I was surprised to answer your first question. As a matter of fact, I remember where I was when I got the RSS feed that Ash was announcing her retirement on Instagram. And it was shocking considering that she had just won the very first Grand Slam and done what no Australian had been able to do in over 40 years. Uh, but then I started digging into her story, a bit of her background, and I found out that she once quit in the junior circuit for 2 years,
Oh wow.
citing just fatigue and saying that she couldn't take the whole rigor of travel, going to different surfaces and circuits to play. Uh, um, and then a lot of people were surprised when she came back and then decided to go pro. This was the same excuse she gave that her body couldn't take the workload again, that
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't think she's able to dedicate herself to be the
So there we
best
go.
in the sport. Because what we see is 2 hours, 3 sets in the Grand
Yeah.
Slam final.
Mm-hmm.
But to become a champion takes countless hours of
Of
preparation, of
preparation,
training,
practice.
of
Yeah.
diet, and I think it took its toll on her. Secondly, some of these players, beyond the money, she's a hero for life because she brought Australia back to the map and did what, I mean, imagine hosting your tournament, and this is something we always read the English national team for. That they said football started in England, but they've only managed to win the World Cup once and never won the Euros.
Once
So
Canela's World Cup.
yeah, you can say scandalous, but I mean, they scored more than that goal to win, to beat Germany. But basically what I'm trying to say, the pressure of being an Australian citizen and playing in your home, your nation's tournament, year in, year out, and no one winning it was immense. And her finally being able to do it,
Break the jinx.
um, it sets her up for great things post career. And for a lot of these people, there's a number in their head that with sound financial advice, with you know, prudent spending, a prudent lifestyle, whatever she has made right now would sustain her. And the good thing about someone like Ash Barty rather, is that she doesn't need to be in the sport to continue to
So
command
make money.
the the payoffs that will come from being a known sports person.
Of course.
I totally commend her. I also have a number. I mean, I've sincerely thought of potentially winning the Lotto Max jackpot and maybe calling it quits on my career. So let's not rib her, even though it was surprising, let's not rib her for doing what she did. Rather, I respect her decision. I wish her the best, like Sheyi also said. I don't expect her to come back because the money well will not dry. And she's not leaving sports completely. She's still going to be in golf. And if she does half as well as she has done in tennis, expect her to be a Grand Slam champion very soon in golf
First
as
and
well.
go faster. All right, perfect. Thank you very much. And Danny Medvedev is going to be out for 2 months with a sprain injury. He has moved from number 1 to number 2, like we said last week, when people were pushing for him to be taken off, the crown should be taken off him. We said, hey, yo, let the young man enjoy whatever ovation he can for 1 week, 2 weeks. Now he's a number 2, but he's going to be out for 2 months. And of course, Dominic Thames is back from injury, but unfortunately for him, he has not played in the last 9 months. But unfortunately for him, he's down with COVID as well. And to your friend, your best friend, Olale, Nick Kyrgios was fined $35,000 after his latest outburst after losing to world number 9, Jannik Sinner. I don't want to talk about it because I'm not surprised. We're still going to see more outbursts from Nick before he ends his career. Nick is never going to change. It's going to be this way. Down the years, I think he's going to be a testament to how outrageously you can be talented, but if the attitude does not match your talent, you are not going anywhere. And it's sad to say this, and I feel Nick could have been better than most, even he could have been as good as Novak Djokovic.
Mhm.
Honestly, it could have been with the right attitude, but of course, I don't want to talk about Nick right now. Iga Swiatek has become the first world number 1, Polish world number 1 in the history of tennis in the women version. We'll go on a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll be diving into the World of World Cup, where we had so many issues in Africa, bad officiating, and the rest. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Yeah, thank you very much for waiting, guys. We're back. No commercials, but of course, we are the commercials. Kachi is enough to be a commercial, honestly. And World Cup, we saw so many things, Olale just alluded to it, the fact that the Duas were outdone. They were outdone. They were outdone by the Duis in this situation where you have the North Africans, point lasers, using mad sound effects against their opponents, all forms of intimidation. They reaped the reward of their deeds on the day. Against Senegal, Mo Salah losing the ultimate penalty to send Senegal to the World Cup after 120 minutes of football, of totalizing football action. And of course, the match between Algeria and Cameroon was reeked of poor officiating as well. Algeria having 2 legitimate goals that were cancelled. Thanks to VAR, and of course, Algeria has written an official letter to FIFA that the match has to be replayed. I don't see that happening. The one between Ghana and South Africa, that was even glaring, that Ghana did Sakama J was never replayed. So I don't see that happening for Algeria. That's what you get when you are not careful. And of course, Nigeria did not come to the party. I can't help but say it. Nigeria did not come to the party. No thanks to the fact that we don't have a technical input from the bench. We have players that were disinterested in playing and represented national colors of Nigeria. I'm a sad man if you ask me. I'm not happy. Nigeria isn't going to be at the World Cup. But of course, I'll take solace with the fact that Canada is going to the World Cup. But I'm not a Canadian. I'm a Nigerian. Forget about that. Honestly, I'm not happy that we're not going to be at the World Cup. And of course, to make it worse, Ghana were the one that sent us out of the tourney. God, I can't even imagine it. All right,
let's go into the pictures itself.
I should let it go.
Yeah.
I'll go the groups of the World Cup, and like Achi said, we could do an early prediction. Early prediction. We know a lot of things could happen before the World Cup, but I'll start with Group A. I'll take it group by group because of limited time. Kachi, I'm going to start with you. Group A, we have Ecuador, the Netherlands, Qatar, and of course Senegal. How do you think this is going to pan out? Who do you expect to qualify from this group? Quickly.
Without missing words, I expect Belgium, the Netherlands rather, and Senegal to make it out of the group. Qatar would be a nice host, but that is all they will manage to do.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I'm going to come to you. England, Iran, USA, and the winner of the Euro playoff. I don't know who that is. Who that's going to be, anyways. But there's a presumption in the favor of Wales, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. There's a presumption in favor of
I think
Wales
Wales and
Wales
Scotland
probably to
thereabout.
face Scotland
or
if Ukraine
Scotland
cannot
Yeah.
if Ukraine cannot make their game
make
against
that
Scotland.
game against exactly. So so let's say potentially Wales. Let's just say potentially Wales. Who do you think is going to qualify? The US, they've been terrific for the past couple of years. There are so many Nigerians in their team anyways. Shay.
Yeah, for this group B, I think convincingly England is going to top this group. And I have a feeling that the United States might just follow them.
All right, perfect. Olale.
Debo.
Yeah.
Group B is a political group. forget form, forget anything. Emotions will run high in those games.
That group.
As much as it looks very easy on paper for England, they are all very dicey.
Don't worry.
We've seen England struggling against
United States.
opponents,
Yeah, true that.
British opponents.
Yeah.
You remember South Africa, what happened with United States?
Yeah.
He
Don't worry.
won.
Olale,
I think the current-
That's why it's early. It's early predictions.
Olale,
Early predictions.
to your own group. Argentina, Mexico, Poland, and Saudi Arabia. This looks a little bit balanced. Talking about Mexico and Poland.
One thing that is guaranteed, let me say, since 1986, is that no matter how difficult the group Mexico find themselves, they will qualify from
They
there.
will come out. They will come out.
The only thing you can guarantee since 1986, they get to the second round and lost all their second round matches since 1986. So I think Mexico will qualify. Argentina should watch it against Poland.
All right, perfect.
Mexico will qualify.
All right, perfect. Group D, we have Denmark, France, Tunisia, and the IC playoff one winner as well. Potentially, Kachi.
Yeah, so potentially that intercontinental playoff game will probably be between Australia and Peru, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who.
So
if we assume that Peru makes it out of the group, and this is shout out to my Australian fans, but this is just hypothetically. I expect France not necessarily to breeze through, but to make a hard job of it and qualify. And I would say Denmark, simply because Tunisia, for the last 2 to 3 World Cups they've been in, have not even scored any points. I don't think they have enough in their firepower. So I would say France and Denmark.
All right, perfect. Shay, Germany, Japan, Spain. I don't even know who the IC playoff 2 is going to be. I don't care.
I think it's Costa Rica and
I really don't care. I see a Japan, I see a Spain, I see a Germany. That's enough for me, honestly. Unless bar any surprise. Shay.
Yeah, I think this group looks like the close to the group of death. Yeah, I still think Group H is still the group of death. But here, I think you expect them to definitely make it out of these groups. We are talking of former champions here. Yeah, former champions. And looking at the Germany national team, they are still good to go. Spanish team might struggle a little bit, but I favor the 2 of them.
All right, perfect. Olale, Belgium, Croatia, Canada, and Morocco.
Where's my knife? Just in case Olawale does not go Canada, I need to bring up
Belgium and Croatia.
Olawale, can someone please turn off Olawale's mic? You are speaking to people.
I'm doing that now. Can you? Is that not very simple to understand? Belgium and Croatia. Is that not simple?
No. I don't think.
Do you guys think you have a chance?
Can you ask Olawale the question again? Olawale, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Who is coming out of that group?
Brussels and Zagreb.
Kachi, Brazil. Kachi, Brazil, Cameroon, Serbia, and Switzerland.
Early predictions, I would say Brazil and Serbia. simply because Switzerland oftentimes struggle through the group stage, and then pick their way in the last two tournaments at the very least, pick their way through the knockout phases. I think this would be one group too many for them. Brazil, Serbia, early predictions.
All right, perfect. I wonder why Sheyi said Group H is the group of death. Ghana, Portugal, Republic of Korea, and Uruguay. Uruguay has been poor over the last 4 or 5 years.
It's still Uruguay.
I don't know.
It's still Uruguay.
I don't
And
know.
it is still the World Cup.
It's still the,
And it's
I don't
still
know.
the
I don't see
World
them doing
Cup.
anything. Anyways,
It's in their DNA.
your prediction?
I recall Ghana, Uruguay, was it quarterfinal of which
Quarterfinals.
World
Ghana is
Cup?
not going to do anything.
Yeah, take it down.
So basically, for me, Sheyi, this Ghanaian team is not even a football team. From what I saw against Nigeria and from what I saw from the African Nations Cup. So I don't understand. Please elucidate why you're telling me this is a group of deaths.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you about Ghana, but we are talking of how many months? They still have up to like
Of
7
course.
months
Yeah, of course.
to put their house in order.
Okay.
But if you also look at this group, Portugal, which happens to be the big guns here, struggle to even qualify for this World Cup in the first place. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling they will also struggle in this group.
Okay.
But I tip them to go through. They might not be topping this group. And the
Really?
outsider in this group that I think is going to make it through also is Korea Republic.
Korea.
Honestly, I agree with you 100%. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me. Uruguay that I've seen over the past 3-4 years, if they're still going to come with Suarez, Cavani, and Lucas Torreira and the rest of the clique of the gang, I don't see them. It just boils down to the fact that South American teams are always technical and very tactical. That's the only way they will have. But if they are still coming with the old guns, and I don't know, Lawale, correct me if I'm wrong, have they changed their coach? Is it still the old man on crutches? Yeah,
that old man.
That old man. Is he still the coach?
Oscar Tabarez.
Oscar Tabarez. Is he still the coach? You know, these are things that I have to consider.
I think they relieved him of his job.
Oh, okay.
He still depends. He's still in
He's
charge.
He's still in charge. Okay. Anyways,
Yes.
Kachi, I can't see you. Your cameras are off. I can just see a glass of juice and wine and my boy Chichu. But tell me, what do you think of this group? Do you agree with Sheyi?
To an extent, but I think you undermine Uruguay to your detriment. There's no tournament, no World Cup tournament that Uruguay had gone in guns blazing. Mm-hmm. They've always gone in with a certain crisis surrounding that team. But there's something about World Cup and DNA, because they know they can set their mind over a 4-week period, 7-game period, and collectively perform out of their skin.
That's true.
That is why I'm saying just
maybe
undermine them at your detriment.
Maybe
I really think for me the most guaranteed is even Uruguay, not even Portugal.
Maybe that's one of the reasons why Cavani doesn't like playing for United these days. Balale.
He was actually relieved of his job in November last year.
Oh, okay. So
after so many years in charge.
Oh, okay. Maybe that they have a fresh breath of hair right now. That could actually change things for them. Olale, is that one of the reasons why Cavani doesn't want to play for United these days? Because he wants to go to the World Cup and perform. And honestly, that's not a question. That was just a joke. But honestly, for you, who do you think will be coming out of this group? Ghana, definitely zero.
Because they defeated Nigeria. Ghana will come out.
One because they defeated Nigeria, two because they don't know how to play.
You know, I don't think Ghana will come out. I think they lack a bit of quality.
I
think probably outside Nigeria, I'm not sure Ghana would have beaten any of the other.
They did not beat Nigeria. They did not beat us. Please correct yourself. They did not beat us. No. Wait, Olale, before we can go further with this discussion, correct yourself. They did not beat Nigeria.
Nigeria shot themselves.
Uzo or whatever is his name. Partey has played that kind of shot for Arsenal 1 million times. He does not even hit the target. And suddenly Partey, Olale.
On paper, but so I think I just feel like South America is probably going through their most, probably one of their lowest moments in recent years.
In recent year, yeah.
Not much of
True that.
quality coming out from that part, to be sincere.
Uh-huh.
The only team that probably command a bit of confidence from South America now is, I think, Brazil. Unfortunately, they have a bad leader, which I think is going to be
It's going to affect them.
their major debt, because I don't know what kind of inspiration Neymar will offer to those other boys. But I think they are the only team that seems to have something exciting that you want to look forward to. Argentina is Argentina, nothing too fantastic about them. So I think I don't
even know any Argentina that is exciting.
I think I would just probably say, you see, the Asian countries they are coming of age, especially Korea and
Korea. Yeah.
And so I think, say bet, I'll just go for Portugal and Portugal and
South Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah.
Okay. Kachi, before we move to the Champions League, I just want to ask you a question. Think of it, and I can give you 30 seconds to think about it. Can you name 2 Argentines in the world right now that is exciting? 2 Argentines.
Paulo Dybala.
Okay.
And I know he just moved on loan. It may not be exciting now, but it's still a good prospect. I would say Eric Lamela as well.
Okay. All right. It took you like 30 seconds. I can presume
I needed the 30 seconds to think.
Yeah, I can assume like 10 years ago you'll have measured like 20 for me.
Oh, without a doubt. I
just went for my boy. Watch out for my boy at the World Cup.
Who's your boy?
Alexis McAllister.
Alexis McAllister for Brighton.
He's going to anchor that midfield for
Argentina.
McAllister.
I will assume that's the only bright spot. Probably Martinez, the goalkeeper of Aston Villa.
Alexis McAllister.
Okay. All right.
The answering McAllister. That should have been the question in the first place.
He had to naturalize now. They had a dearth of talent. A dearth, not a death. A dearth of talent. So they will take whatever they can. Even if they can take Boris Johnson or Trudeau if they have opportunity. Let's move to the Champions League and let's analyze Champions League fully before we go to the league. All right. And I'm going to start with I'll stay with Kachi for this one. I'll stay with you. And of course, everybody will have a chance to say 1 or 2 things. Kachi, Wale, and Sheyi. So Man City versus Atletico Madrid at the Etihad. We've seen Man City. We know they play the boring tiki-taka or what they call it, tiki-taka. Yeah, we know they play. That's their game, and of course, and just before you go ahead, and the funniest thing is, we've seen a form of resurgence in Atletico Madrid over the past couple of weeks. They switched their formation. They brought Thomas Lemar to the middle. They play with 3 at the back, 4 in the middle of the park, 2 flying wing backs, and boy, oh boy, Joao Felix right now is doing wonderful job. So.
Yeah, Felix is doing wonderful. And I've said this several times. You might call me a bitter AC Milan fan, but I've said it severally that teams would come to regret allowing Atletico to stay alive in the Champions League. But that being said, on paper, you have to give this to Manchester City. They have a better crop of players. They have the better manager. They've shown better consistency. If not for some boneheaded decision making in some games in the league, they were almost de facto league champions until Liverpool reined them in right now. However, that is not to say, because this same Diego Simeone has used Atletico Madrid to end Pep Guardiola's dream of winning the Champions League with Bayern Munich when they went home and away, defeating Bayern Munich. Pep Guardiola's led Bayern Munich with even this same tiki-taka type of football. So expect Atletico to keep it really compact, really physical. Expect a lot of fouls, possibly 3 or 4 yellow cards for Atletico Madrid. And if they get a goal, especially if they get it before Manchester City, it's going to be an uphill task. I still give the slight edge to City, but I'm saying don't rule out Atletico. I've seen it happen too many times for me to rule
So
them
Kachi
out.
is going with City.
With a City win. Yes.
Olale, a City win for you as well.
I
Olale,
think, if I'm going to put in money on the game, I think I'll put it on City. It's knockout football, pedigree, whatever you've done in the past doesn't matter. I've seen these things a lot of times.
Olale,
Just like
Olale, I can't hear you very well.
I said, just like Hachi said, it's knockout football.
Yeah.
We've seen these kind of things a lot of times. Whatever you've done in the past doesn't matter. It's just 2 games. Your form in those 2 games is what matters most. That is where Atletico is a bit more dangerous. They don't need to play very well. Well, on the part of City, I think City just have a job to do, just to win the first leg. The good thing is there is no away goals rule. Just win the first leg. I think if they can win the first leg, no matter how the scoreline, they will go through.
All right. So you are saying a City win as well?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Shay, a City win for you as well?
Definitely a City win. I think Atletico is one of the tricky teams to play in this competition. Of course, as a United fan, you understand that. But I think City is a team that will take the ball away from you. If you can do that perfectly against the Diego Simeone team, then you should be favored.
Okay.
Can I say something here? Something I want to say is Atletico does not need to play the perfect game to win, but City needs to play the perfect football to win and qualify in this
all right time. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. But for me, I know I don't like Diego Simeone, but from what I've seen over the past couple of weeks, I just feel something just tells me that a moment of brilliance and the lack of striking up option for City will win this for Atletico Madrid, even in the LTR. I don't know. It's just mine, but of course you can't take my prediction. I'm Oracle 0.0. Kachi, I want to come to you now. Benfica against Liverpool and Lisbon. Everybody's going to expect Liverpool to win. You know, it should be straightforward, pretty straightforward for Liverpool.
It won't be straightforward. We saw how Benfica stifled Ajax, but I think Benfica play better football away from home than they do at this Estadio El Dragão. Yeah. I don't know the mindset Mo Salah is in right now. It looks like he isn't completely out of the funk. We saw him over the weekend. But I really think that Liverpool has more in their arsenal. And pardon the pun there, no pun intended, but they have more in their arsenal to sneak at least a draw. But I will give the edge to Liverpool to win it.
All right, perfect. Shay, Liverpool win for you as well.
This away from home, I think it might not be a straightforward win for Liverpool. Of course, with Benfica coming with the type of belief they put into the last round, but I still think Liverpool should have enough in them to pull through. They were able to save Salah over the weekend. I think Trent was also rested, even though he's coming from injury. But I think they'll be fresher coming up for this game, and a slim win for them probably.
All right, perfect. For some changes in Lawale is not here, so I will go to the next game, Kachi, of course, and that will be Villarreal versus Bayern Munich.
Who can bet against Bayern Munich right now? Unlike before, where they usually are not concentrated in the league and focusing only on the Champions League, that they sent a statement of intent on what they plan to do by decimating Freiburg over the weekend. Villarreal will make a fight of it, but Bayern will just be one step too far for Villarreal. Bayern need to win it.
All right, Shay, are you going for Bayern win as well, away from home?
Obviously, yeah.
All right,
a straight win for Bayern.
All right, and to the game of the week, which is going to be Chelsea versus Real Madrid. at Stamford Bridge, we saw how Brentford walloped Chelsea 4-1, playing on the counter. Looks like Chelsea lost so much focus in the game, which is pretty unusual for them. Mendy, I don't know what happened to him.
Off day, it was just an off day.
Off day for them. Kachi, do you see Madrid doing same to them? Benzema scoring 2 penalties over the weekend, losing 1 that could have gotten him an hat-trick.
Yeah. No, I don't see that. I expect Chelsea to bounce back. Thomas Tuchel is not Carlo Ancelotti, who, even when you have a bad game, wants to pat your head on the back or pat you on the back and hold you. Thomas Tuchel would have turned into all those players who, despite making so much money, played like my little boy Eden plays right now. I really, right now, even as I'm saying it, I don't know where the goals will come from. Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic probably. But even if it's by the odd goal, I think Chelsea will win this.
Oh, wow.
The tie, not over 2 legs, but
nice.
Chelsea will get a home win.
Shay, do you see Chelsea winning as well for this tie?
I think
for this game.
Yeah, that's a Stamford Bridge match. It's quite a close one for me. Just like Kachi said, I think the game over the weekend for Chelsea was just a blip. They played quite better in the first half. The second half, they totally just, took some wrong steps, and it turned into a nightmare. Yeah, it turned into a nightmare for them. But of course, we are talking about crop of players I experienced. I don't think that result is going to affect what will happen on Wednesday. So I expect them to probably take this tie slim. So I'm saying Chelsea will win this first leg.
Okay, all right, perfect. For me, the best Chelsea will get out of this tie is a draw. For me, personally, I don't know, and this is my reason. It is not because I don't like Chelsea or I have anything against Chelsea, but this is what I take from it. They played with their full team against Brentford, and it shows lack of focus on their part. Number 2, it shows they are not dynamic. Without, and they rely so much on individual brilliance as it is right now. So I feel this Carlo Ancelotti that I know will have studied Chelsea, and if it did, my word, if Chelsea can get a draw, they should be happy from it. All right.
I think they've been solid in the Champions League.
I know. I know that's the word, and Chelsea they're always a different animal in the Champions League. But against Carlo Ancelotti, I'm not going to bet for Chelsea, but I'll prefer to bet against Chelsea. In this for this one. And of course, moving to the Premier League, we had a wonderful one, but Kachi, this is my question. And rightly so, people have been talking about how well Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have done in the past, but they keep forgetting what is happening on the white side of North London. And over the weekend, I saw character in Spurs, going one go down. Newcastle have been a boogie team for them over the past couple of seasons. They've always, it's not a stroll in the park for them against Castle. And they considered that goal, came back almost immediately to score. I would not wish Spurs well for anything. But the way Spurs played on the night, they play like a different animal. Son, even Doherty that I castigated on this show a couple of weeks ago was he got a couple of assists with a goal as well. And I'm looking at it like, looks like Spurs might nick this last Champions League spot, especially if Chelsea gets themselves drawn into this Champions League mess. which they potentially could be if Arsenal wins and Arsenal gets just 2 points, 2 points behind them, and Arsenal by one miracle or the other defeat Chelsea at Emirates, then Chelsea will be in a mess. And you look at it like, oh, this is getting messy. Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, potentially Manchester United. But how well do you think Conte has done over the last couple of months since January, after I brought in Kruvetsky? I'm sorry if I get the pronunciation wrong, and of course Bentancur from Juventus.
So that was Spurs' third straight win across all competition. The win against Newcastle. You're right that Newcastle had always been a bogey team for them. I think Conte took full advantage of this 2-week international break, where most of his players did not play for their national team. Most, I'm not saying all, did not play for their national team. And even the ones that did were only involved in friendly games and had time to rest. I'm looking at you, Harry Kane, So he's had time to drill in his tactics, drill in what he wants. Results have not really been reflecting that, except for the last 3 games I mentioned here. But that's not to say that they did not fully deserve their win against Newcastle. This is a team that before the last 2 games had not dropped points in 9 games as well. They currently sit 15th. But I think it's too early to say Tottenham Hotspur would compete for that 4th Champions League spot. I sincerely still think it's between Chelsea and Arsenal. And the reason I say that is, in spite of them winning 3 games on the bounce, they've been more inconsistent than they have been consistent, even under Antonio Conte. And typically what we've seen with Spurs over the last 8 or 9 games is they get very high and then they come crashing down to earth. This is a high for them right now. I can't really think right now who their next game is against, but I know for certain that there will be a low. I think their next game is against Aston Villa. Playing Villa at Villa Park. Villa really needs this point desperately. Expect them to come back crashing down to earth. So for me, to answer your question, amazing job by Conte, but no, I don't think they will compete for the 4th position.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that. I sincerely hope that you are correct, but honestly, deep down inside of me, I disagree. Something just tells me that they might need that 4th position.
We agree to disagree.
Going to the 4th right now. It's Shay, coming to you. Do you agree with Kachi? Do you think they'll come crash it down again, and the best I hopefully think they will get is going to be an Europa League place?
Yeah, I think I agree with Kachi. And basically the reasons are, number one, the Spurs, they've been actually up and down for the last 3 months. Even though, you mentioned when he bought in Bentancur and Kulusevski. The only thing is that when you see them play well, you see those 2 players are quite outstanding in those games. And that really is just showing what we are going to see in Spurs next season, but not this season. The second reason is the number of games that Arsenal, the outstanding games they have at the moment. I still think Arsenal will just nick the 4th position ahead of Spurs.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you very much for that. And honestly, I hope that is the case. And to the roundup of the matches in the Premier League over the weekend, Liverpool defeated Watford as expected, 2-0. Mo Salah coming off and Fabinho scoring the winning penalty for Liverpool. Wolverhampton defeated Aston Villa. I wonder in what world the referee saw that Aston Villa penalty as a penalty. I don't understand. I don't understand football again. Honestly, I should not be on this seat if that is a penalty. Of course, Neil Maupay blazed a penalty over the bar to ensure that Brighton drew new against Norwich. And Kachi, before we go on and go to the Chelsea game, I just want to ask you a question. Mapao is a good striker. I'm not going to take that away from him. But it's just exactly the number of chances he has to lose just to score one
before he gets a goal.
And I'm wondering, this is a good striker. Without this guy, I'm pretty sure Brighton will be high up in the table right now. It just I don't know. It loves losing chances.
Well, he's 25 years old. Let's hope and pray. Let's hope and pray that it develops. And this is just a slump. If I remember clearly, there's this guy that I think it was Danny Ings, who from Southampton went to Liverpool and struggled at almost the same age, struggled vehemently to get in among the goals. And then he left Liverpool back to Southampton and resumed scoring until he moved. I think he's currently with Aston Villa now, if I remember. So all I'm pretty saying is it's a phase that sometimes some of these players go through. For Neil Maupay, I think directly, indirectly, has probably cost his team about 12 points, which would have changed their position. You are right about that. But Brighton, yes, for all the good football they play, I still feel they're punching above their weight. They are by DNA a mid-table team. And whatever is happening to them is what you expect of a mid-table team. They need volumes of chances to be able to convert, whether it's Neil, whether it's somebody else. They need to create much more than 1, 2, 3, 4 chances per game to get their chances. And that is why they are doing better than in Norwich. The difference between Brighton and Norwich, beyond the style of play, is that they create more chances and are possibly going to take 1 out of 4. Norwich, on the other hand, are not creating anything right now. So no blame to Neil. As a young man, he's going to develop. Let's have this conversation again in probably 2 years' time when he's 27.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we had
is an average striker. I think he's an average striker.
Any
striker that loses so much chances, I don't think you should call that kind of striker a good striker.
I did say good.
That's my comment on Maupay.
Thank you very much.
They've all called him a good striker.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
call him good.
I don't know.
What I said is that he's going through a form.
But what I'm pretty sure about is we had this conversation last season, and we are here again this season. And 25 years old, Kachi, in football, that is when that is the start of your peak.
Your peak? No, you can't.
That is the start of
your peak. Yeah. So that's why I said let's have this conversation again.
That's the start of your peak. So we should not expect him to do what a 22-year-old would do. Anyways, Sheyi, I'm going to come to you. Chelsea refused to play ball. They refused to come to the party, and they were rightly defeated 4-1. Brentford did what they know how to do. Bully, run tirelessly, and of course got the goals. And my word, Eriksen still oozes class. Even though he plays in that team, you see this guy is class. No, and he showed, and he showed it 100%. He showed it 100%. At Chelsea, unfortunately for Chelsea right now, they stand at 59 points, 5 points just above Spurs and Arsenal, with an outstanding game for 2 outstanding game, 1 outstanding game for Chelsea, which is against Arsenal. So it makes it, I don't know, it makes it somehow, and you look at it, do you think Chelsea will be dragged into this mess? Something tells me that Chelsea, if they are not careful, will be dragged into this mess. I know Kachi disagrees, but I just feel they will be dragged into this mess if they're not careful.
I like the word you used. You said if they are not careful, exactly. And I strongly think they will be careful. I don't see them being dragged into the battle of top 4. I think they are going to secure the top 3 probably in the next 4 games.
Okay.
The season is actually running to an end. We need to know that.
Exactly.
And if they are 5 points ahead of the chasing pack. All they need to do is to consolidate. I think Chelsea is a team that knows how to do that. They hardly concede and they score goals where they have not reaped. Where they've not, they reap where they've not sowed. Let me put it that way. They know how to do that. The game against Newcastle was a game that they were not supposed to win on that day.
Yeah.
They got the 3 points. I think there's another one. I can mention up to 3 that they actually got 3 points from games they actually should have lost. So I think they will do the same. They might be out of the Champions League soon, which will help them to focus on the league and just consolidate and seal top 3 in the next 4 games. That's what I think.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that. And of course, Man City made mockery of Burnley away from home. 2-0, easy peasy as expected. Leeds United played a 1-1 draw against Southampton. This is a game that Leeds probably would have lost if Bielsa was still at the realms of affair. Not because he's not a good coach, but because he will want to play open football, and at the long run, it will be opened and slice and dice. And of course, Kachi, I'm going to come to you. Leicester City versus Manchester United. Kelechi Iheanacho getting the score for Leicester City, and I wonder how that goal by Madison was ruled as a foul because of what Kelechi did. I don't know how that happened, but it did happen. Manchester United were lucky enough to draw that game, but the talking point for every football fanatic is, if Ronaldo was not available, Cavani was not available, why put Michael Rashford on the bench and played Bruno Fernandes as a first line? How justifiable is that?
Would never know. Let's not forget that. I think Rashford, I guess it begins to lend credence to the rumors we're hearing about Rashford potentially leaving for North London. I still can't understand it. I guess Rangnick watched the game against Northern Macedonia and thought, okay, maybe I can do what the Portuguese coach did by playing like a 3-man front of Diego Jota, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Bruno Fernandes. I'm finding it very hard to explain that because it was so boneheaded for me as well. But beyond just Bruno Fernandes, I think it was just the overall demeanor, the overall attitude of the other 11 players or 9 outfield players. And let's not put the blame squarely on Bruno Fernandes or even.
No, I'm not blaming Bruno. It was just putting Rashford on the ground.
It looks like the Manchester United squad. Let's just call it what it is. It looks like they are ready for the offseason. That's how they are playing right now. That game, a 1-1 draw, flattered United more than it did Leicester City. Even though we know Leicester has not really been consistent right now. I thought tactics were wrong. I thought attitude from Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba had a clear-cut header that he just leaned into. That was a really good chance he could have taken. I'm just saying, attitude-wise, tactic-wise, demeanor-wise, the United players are out of it. I don't think they bought into Rangnick. Let's hope that they are able to get Ten Hag. We heard what Louis van Gaal said, that United is a commercial business and Ten Hag should not be going there. That may put a dent to it. But coming back to the game, more credit should be given to Leicester for making it a game than saying United squandered the chance to get 3 points, really, in my opinion.
All right, perfect. Sheyi, I don't know if you have a difference of opinion. I'm just wondering, and is it good news that potentially before the end of the season, Greenwood could be back in the mix?
Okay, I think Greenwood issue not a bad idea. I'm sure they've actually managed his situation very well to make sure everything had died down, let the police also, do their job. So I think it was a fantastic move from Manchester United to do that. And if you look at it, I think Greenwood was actually part of Manchester United issue this season, because at the moment they needed him most was when that
Situation happened.
unfortunate,
Accusation came up.
yeah, and that's why the likes of Lingard that really does not want to be in Manchester United had
to stay
to be,
put.
you know, had to stay put. Like Kachi said, I think the United players are playing as if nothing else is up for them to achieve for the rest of the season. But for me, I think this is what the board should do. Just press a reset button.
They've been pressing the reset button for so many years. 1.2 billion pounds spent after still no results. I don't know. I don't know. It has to be an auto research right now and be like us now. Of course, to the Serie A, special one against Venezia, 1-0. Lazio defeated Sassuolo 2-1. Torino defeated Statina away from home 1-0, and of course Fiorentina defeated Empoli 1-0. Udinese out of nowhere defeated Cagliari 5-1. Napoli without Victor Osimhen defeated Atalanta away from home, which is great for them. 3-1. Roma managed a 1-0 victory against Sampdoria, while Inter Milan, via a controversial penalty that has been put out there, defeated Juventus at Turin 1-0. Milan is going to be playing against Bologna later on Monday, and of course, Alo Verona versus Genoa as well. Still, simply realistically, no changes to the table except for the fact that Napoli are top right now, with one game more than Milan at 66 points. Milan closely following at 66 as well. I bet one outstanding game. Inter Milan with 2 outstanding games are 60 points right now. Juventus are on 59 points, and of course, Roma are on 54 points. Don't forget, if Juventus to win their outstanding game, they will be on the same. No, they'll be like 2 points ahead of Inter Milan. So depends on Inter Milan what they do. So Juventus actually had the chance to overall Inter Milan and drag themselves potentially into the title race with a win today. Unfortunately, it did not just happen for them. And of course, in the Spanish La Liga, Pedri scored a wonder goal against Sevilla. Funny enough, Kachi will have thought Barcelona are second on the table right now.
Yes. They overtook Sevilla. Xavi ball is well and truly in full focus right now. They are becoming a better joy to watch. Xavi, after they routed Real Madrid 4-0, came out to say that they should not rule them out of the league. I don't know how feasible that is with 7 or 8 games left to go, but it makes you wonder, what if Xavi had started the season with them? Next season is definitely shaping up to be a fantastic one for the Barcelona fans.
All right, perfect. And of course, in other games, Valencia played 0-0 against Cadiz, disappointing 0-0 against Cadiz at the Mestalla Stadium. Granada played 2-2 against Vallecano. Real Betis played 4-1 against Osasuna. Bilbao winning Elche 2-1. And of course, Getafe played a 1-0 against Mallorca. Levante 2-0 against Villarreal. Real Madrid played 2-1 against Celta Vigo, and Atletico Madrid played 4-1 against Alaves. That's the show, and that's the wrap. To see you again next week. My name is still not changing. I'm still Aleja Adebo. I have Oracle 2.0, I have Oracle 1.0. Till we see you again next week. Don't stop for Sports in Sports. Bye.